to the Cinema Dash. As always, I'm Gabbs.
And I'm DeGe.
And I'm Gabbs.
And I'm DeGe.
And I'm Gabbs.
And I'm DeGe.
And I'm Gabbs.
Alright, cool.
Who are you?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, we're here again. And we took a little break.
Well, here we are again.
Same old us. Maybe I'm a little bit tanner.
Yeah, you got some color when you were down when you were down the shore.
As you can see from the channel feed, we haven't been very active. The only thing we uploaded in the last couple of weeks was your one-off. And that was basically it since our last one, which was episode 14, and that was Interstellar with Peter, with our good friend Peter. And now we're back from after I came home from vacation. We watched the movie, and yeah.
And some of the just quick little announcement. Our next two videos are going to be another one-off of me, because I actually saw that movie Lights Out. And then we are seeing Suicide Squad very soon
with our good friend Nick.
You might remember him from the Deadpool episode that we did with our other friend Andrew. So yeah, we're gonna go see it with him. We should ask him if he wants to be on.
Yeah,
maybe he'll take the drive. I don't know. But maybe we'll see him in that episode. But we're definitely gonna be doing an episode on Suicide Squad after we see it. And we're still deciding if we want to go see that Kevin Spacey movie, Nine Lives, with the cat.
I kind of just want to do it just because it'd be a joke.
Yeah, totally.
That we need like one movie that we can totally rip on. But
absolutely. So yeah, those are some videos you can expect in the future. But
also one little update. You did a one-off. I did a one-off. Yours was uploaded and mine was not.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I had a lot of trouble with the audio.
So yeah, for whatever reason, I also have Audacity on my laptop, and like I said, for whatever reason, I can't export. And I downloaded it off the website, and for whatever reason, DeGe can't open it after I sent it to him. So I'm gonna give you a little quick review of X-Men Apocalypse. It's a good movie. Out of the younger cast of X-Men movies, being like First Class and Apocalypse and Days of Future Past. This is definitely not the best one. It's only like third out of the three, but it's still very good. But yeah, overall, I just think like some people's acting could have been a lot better. Most notably, Sophie Turner's in like Jennifer
your girlfriend.
Yeah, she's pretty wooden in the movie. Needless to say, it was pretty bad. Like there's like bad performances and there are like really good performances. Like Oscar Isaac obviously gives like an amazing performance, and yeah. Overall, it's like a 7.5 out of 10, would see again, probably. Just one more time.
Just one more?
Just one more.
Okay.
So, yeah, now that we're done with that, getting that out of the way, we're going to get back to this episode.
Yeah, which is also a superhero movie.
Yes.
This movie came out a while ago, but,
seeing how there's a movie that we just said that we're going to probably review, it's exactly like it.
Yeah, and also since it definitely relates to the movie, like since it definitely relates to Suicide Squad, and also because we feel like we have a lot to say about this movie.
Yeah.
Pretty much whenever Gabbs and I watch a movie, if you couldn't tell by our previous episodes, and we want to talk about it, we'll just do an episode.
Yeah.
Like we did Snowpiercer when it was like 2 years later.
Yeah.
We did Drive when it was like 5 years later.
Yeah.
So like we just want to talk about movies, man.
We're eventually going to talk about Back to the Future.
It needs to happen. It's on Netflix now. It's on Netflix.
It is?
Yeah, dude. All three Back to the Futures are on Netflix. You can't see Gabbs' face.
What?
He's flipping the fuck out.
I have that shit on demand.
Yeah, dude. It's on Netflix. All three movies. It's definitely gonna happen. We're gonna schedule a date. We're gonna sit down. We're gonna rewatch it. It's gonna happen.
If that's the case, then we're gonna watch all three of them.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm down.
We're watching all three.
Definitely, hands down.
Right.
And we can do that. We can make it a little mini series.
So,
Cinema Dash reviews Back to the Future.
As we were saying before, I just got totally aroused by that the notion that Back to the Future and all of its sequels are on Netflix. The movie we saw was Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, we saw Guardians of the Galaxy.
As we're almost 5 minutes in and we haven't really said the movie yet that you saw.
Yeah,
sorry. So yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy, the Marvel movie that came out in 2014.
Yep.
That was critically acclaimed and everyone liked it.
Yeah, and we saw it together.
And before the channel was even a thing.
Before the channel was a thing, we saw it together.
Yeah, so yeah.
Right off the bat, what do you remember?
Yeah, what do you remember off of watching it the first time?
I was super excited to see it actually because I didn't know who these characters were.
Much like everyone else.
Much like everybody else, and they actually got an A-list cast to do it. And that was really cool to see that Marvel was taking a risk with some of their properties, and making it with an A-list cast. And you knew it was already going to be a box office success anyway, but nobody expected it to be the big box office success that it actually was. But yeah, going into it, I remember I was super excited because this kind of looked like Marvel Star Wars to me. So I was like, hey, why not? You know, this could be cool. This could be cool. So yeah, and I also saw some of the trailers and I heard the soundtrack to it, and I was like, the soundtrack is phenomenal.
Yeah, much like
yeah, exactly. And I was like, the soundtrack is phenomenal, so, you know, why not? So we went to go see it. And yeah, what about you?
I just remember, like, seeing the movie and coming out like, oh, it was good. Not too thrilled about it, but like, I was like, it was good.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I just, you know, I've been thinking about it like since then. I'm like, do I even like Guardians of the Galaxy? And I'm like, you know, I'm setting dates like just so I can watch the movie again and actually get a firm grasp of what the movie is and my feelings for it. And you know what? I just never found the time. And I'm like, you know what? We had nothing going on this week. We decided to watch a movie, and that was the one.
Yep.
It was that and some other movie.
Right.
You wanted to see.
The Killing Joke.
Oh yeah.
Which I still want to see, by the way, because I know some people loved it and some people hated it, but maybe I'll be one of those people that loves it. So
I heard it's like only an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, so it's not a long.
So if anything, it might just be like either a quick one-off or a quick one of these episodes.
Definitely, yeah. So yeah, like right off the bat, what I really like about just Marvel in general is that really every time they introduce a new superhero or like a new hero that they're gonna do, they make it like a genre-specific movie. Yeah. Like with this movie, it was kind of like a space opera, like adventure stuff like that. With Ant-Man, it was a heist movie. With Doctor Strange, it's looking to be like a surrealist kind of movie, like a David Lynch,
almost like Inception-esque.
Yeah, like Inception-esque, like a thinking movie, you know. And I really enjoy that about Marvel, that they really know how to like just make it like a genre specific instead of like a big like, oh, everybody's banding together like the Avengers, like where it's like everybody's banding together and fighting one common enemy. And that's what I really liked about the new Captain America, like the Winter Soldier. It was kind of like a 70s political thriller kind of thing, which was really, really cool. And but yeah, right off the bat, that's what I really like about
like All the President's Men. Kind of. Have you ever seen All the President's Men?
I've seen bits and pieces of it. I've never actually seen the full movie.
It's good.
It's a good movie. It's worth a watch.
It's like a dad movie. Like it's a movie you can sit down with your dad and have like a nice talk about it.
Okay, I dig it. But yeah, like right off the bat, I really like that about this movie, like its whole aesthetic, I guess. Other than that, I thought the movie, I loved the movie when it first came out, and I still really like it to this day. Now, notice how I said loved, and now I said really liked. Because, like, after I rewatched it for, I think this is the third time.
This is the second time I've seen it.
This is the third, yeah.
Second time I've seen it, first since I saw it in theaters.
Right, yeah. I saw it once in theaters, then I saw it again with, not in theaters, but on demand with a couple of friends from where I work. And then I saw it for the third time when we watched it a couple days ago. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, going into this movie, as we always do, we're going to tell the story of the movie. I guess I can take this one off your hands. So, we got Star-Lord, Chris Pratt. He starts off the movie doing some cool things with the... We might get content ID for that. Yeah. It might be too close. Anyway, so we had a good run. So, yeah. You know, opening credits, boom, there. Finds some orb. Bad guys come in. Who are you? Star-Lord. Who? Oh, come on, man. You guys know I'm Star-Lord, right? Whatever. So he kicks ass, gets the orb, flies off, and gets it for a price. And he's like, oh, he's running away from, like, this gang of guys he's, like, been with since the start of it. Yeah. Got taken off of Earth by them, which was also in the beginning of the movie, which I probably should have said first. Whatever. This is me telling the story. It's all in like one big jumbled mess. Which I usually which is why I usually leave it off to you because you do a better job with just telling it out loud.
You're doing.
But you know what, you do it a lot, so I'm taking it off your hands.
Take it, dude. Don't worry about it.
So, next thing is we see Ronan. He's getting prepared in like this bath of black water or something.
You should mention Ronan's the bad guy.
Fucking, I was getting to that, alright?
Okay.
So he's like, ooh, I got my hammer here, I'm gonna set off the day, good, nice day.
Set off the day?
Yeah, set off the day.
Fucking explosive? Okay.
So he's got his two bitches next to him. He's got Nebula and Gamora, both daughters of fucking Thanos. I don't know why they're with him, but just like, you know, if you're like the dad, like the son, like daughter, father thing. You should probably like be together or something. I don't know. They really didn't go into that much, or like why exactly like they.
I think Thanos just gave him to Ronan to like help him.
Just
get the orb.
Here, just take them off my hand.
My kid, Dave.
Take them off my hand.
And they're like, Dave, why, Dave? And then he's just like, nobody.
So yeah. So they're like, oh, we didn't get the orb thing because you told us to get that. He's like, all right, I want to send Nebula to go get the orb. Nebula's like, okay, I'll do it. Then Gamora's like, no, I'm gonna go do it because I'm better than her.
Nebula's like, oh shit.
And then Nebula's like, all right, fine, fuck you too. She's like, and then Rowan's like, yeah, all right, go do my evil bidding.
Yeah.
See, I said evil there.
Evil bidding.
So yeah, there's on this like Nova planet thing, like where Nova Prime and like all the Nova Corps is. And like Star-Lord's like gonna go and like sell this to some guy to get some big price for it. And obviously we see Rocket Raccoon and Groot and I Am Groot looking around like, oh, making fun of that guy, We're gonna make fun of Stan Lee right there. See, there's a Stan Lee cameo right there.
I think that's one of the better Stan Lee cameos too, in my opinion.
I feel like we should get at least one Marvel movie where it just doesn't happen, and like immediately the next Marvel movie should have two of them. It's like, oh, sorry,
That's revolutionary.
We missed the one for this one.
Yeah.
But for the next one, we got you.
We got you. Don't worry.
Yeah, so we're like, alright, oh, this guy's got a nice bounty on his head because Yondo's like, yo, fucking, he left us. He left the group.
Yeah, dude.
And we gotta set a price for his head. Alive, my ad. So yeah, they get into some big rough thing together. Star-Lord, Gamora, Rocket Raccoon, and Groot. They all get captured, going into space jail. Which is also a really cool name, just saying space
jail.
Space jail is a cool concept.
Space jail's cool as hell, dude. Yeah.
So they're being harassed by other inmates in there. You get to meet Drax, who's like, oh, you're the daughter of Thanos, and like he like bad.
You killed my wife and daughter.
Well, that's like Ronan did that.
Yeah. Ronan.
And he's like a disciple of Thanos, so he's like, yeah. Well, first I'm gonna take down Ronan. Now I'm gonna take down Thanos by myself.
Yeah.
So yeah. And that happened, they're like, oh, we all need to get out because like we have this orb and like it costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because Gamora's like, oh, I'm gonna sell it to someone else who can like, you know, keep it secure and like not in the wrong hands. He gets a lot of money. Like, okay, we're gonna split it all like 4 ways. Because Groot's all like, oh, I'm Groot, and he's like, oh, I need that money too, yo. So yeah, they all devise a plan to like get out of the jail. Drax joins them for whatever reason. He just kind of like joins them. You know what I mean?
Well, they say he's gonna. Well, remember when he was choking out Gamora? They were like, "Yo, listen, don't do that because you need her to get to Thanos. I mean, you need her to get to Ronan."
Yeah, but like you didn't like. I don't know. Like you didn't like. To me, it was just like if that's the case, then like. You didn't know anything about like the orb in the first. Like Drax didn't know anything about the orb.
Yeah, it didn't matter. He just joined so they could get at Ronan. He didn't give a shit.
So immediately he's like, okay, well, how the fuck does this me not telling her right now lead me to him?
Because she knows where Ronan is. He doesn't.
Well, I mean, like, how does he know that she knows that?
Because it's Ronan's daughter. Or Ronan's assistant.
Whatever.
Alright, but anyway.
Point is.
You explained the whole movie.
Yes.
They all become best friends.
They all become, yeah.
And then they
from there, they go and, like, you know, talk about friendship. And, like, they go see the Collector. And he had, like, oh, this is, like, too much power. And then, like, oh, they come to where the Collector is. And, like, oh, you gotta give us that orb, yo. With the Infinity Gem in it, and Drax is like, "Oh, I'm gonna take you." Like, you call him up, he's like, "Yo, bitch, come over to this planet, yo." It's not even a planet; it's like a giant robot.
Why don't you get your boy pussy over here, and we can fight about it?
It's not even like a planet; it's like a robot, giant robot skeleton head.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's like, "Yo, bitch, come over here, square up,
step up."
Yeah, and then like, he's like, "Do you understand how stupid of an idea that was?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, shit.
Basically.
He's kind of just digging with it.
So like they all get like split up too because like Star-Lord gets captured by like the gang he left before with Gamora, who almost died. Nebula gets the Infinity Stone, and like Rocket, Groot, and fucking Drax are up to who knows what. Oh yeah, Drax got thrown into a thing of piss, right? Basically, it's piss yellow, so automatically I assume it's just piss.
It's just piss.
So
yeah, and then,
like,
you know,
and then the 3 of them are just like, all right, we gotta go get him back. I'm like, all right, that's cool.
Yeah, you explaining the story took up half the video.
So
why?
I don't don't know, dude. This is why I usually leave you with this job.
Okay.
Do you not want me? Fine.
I didn't say that I didn't want you to. I'm just saying it just took up
For my
10 minutes.
This is my interpretation of the movie.
Okay. That's
So,
fine.
you're like, yo, we gotta go get Star-Lord and Gamora back. You're like, alright, cool. We're gonna make this thing where, like, it blows up big things.
Yeah.
And they threaten it, and then it's like, oh, how the hell are you supposed to save us if you're just gonna blow us up? It's like, well, I didn't think that far. And that's like a joke. After the, yeah. Just like that burp. You're like, alright, we're gonna take on Ronan and we're gonna kill him. We're gonna take him down. We're gonna get the Infinity Stone back.
And
then they do that.
So
Yeah.
what do we like about the movie, Ant?
There's a lot of stuff I like about this movie.
I did. I had a lot of stuff that I liked about it.
I like the music, as you
Yes,
said.
soundtrack is definitely a highlight.
Soundtrack is very good.
Yes.
There are songs I like about in this movie, and there's also songs I don't think don't really fit in this movie.
Such as?
The ones I didn't know.
Bum, bum, ba-da,
No, I mean, like, you get Blue Suede, like, Hooked on a Feeling.
Yeah.
I think that's like in the wrong time though, because like this is like when they just get into the jail. How are you hooked on a feeling in jail? You know what I mean? In that one concept. They're like, oh, it's a cool song.
I think it would have fit better if they were like, it would have been like a montage of them like getting to know each other. You know what I mean? Because they're like hooked to each other. They're
Also,
like, hooked
yeah,
on a feeling that they're getting ready.
There's
to
also
be
that too, where just like they're like all they do is just like they just like meet and like this and they fight in that one Nova Corps place and they get sent to space jail and right from there like oh they just like drop like lines about like their personality. Like Rocket, like an example of it, like Rocket Raccoon's like drunk later on in the movie. He's like, oh I didn't want to be made this way.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, that's your thing. Next, Groot's like, I'm Groot, and I'm not gonna get anything from that, so I have no clue what the fuck Groot's saying. Even though Rocket's basically his interpreter. And also, he's also the only one that knows how to interpret Grootian. I don't even know.
Grootian?
Sure. his tongue, native tongue.
Native tongue.
So you also get like an explanation of how that's possible, and how he just understands him.
I don't know. Yeah.
There are a lot of flaws in this movie. Is basically what I'm saying. And it's definitely not.
It's definitely not a perfect movie.
It's not. I mean, no movie's perfect, but I'm just saying like this movie is not like the best Marvel movie, in my opinion.
Not at all. I
should
just
be
feel like that one of the best parts of the movie is the character development. I always felt
Yeah,
like
but,
the
like,
characters are like super realized. And,
You know, but like you just drop lines about them. You don't like all you do is like you get like the Star-Lord thing. Like so they do Star-Lord They do a pretty good job with Star-Lord.
yeah, they did a good job with Drax
Because
too.
like a majority, like the whole side plot with like Yondu and that whole crew. Yondu, that's Yondu, whatever. Fuck that guy. Michael Rooker. I'm calling
Michael
him out.
Rooker.
Basically, like the whole subplot was just for him, and getting to know him better. The whole beginning was for him too. And the whole thing with Gamora was like, okay, yeah, I'm the daughter of Thanos, and like I'm also like built to be like a killer.
Yeah, but she's
Even,
also
even though I
also find out
even
like,
though really I don't do that much action in the movie. I have like 3 fight scenes throughout the entire movie.
Yeah, but like she also like develops as a character too.
Yeah,
Like, she becomes like more like understanding of like.
I'm just saying like they don't get as much depth as like Star-Lord does. You know, he is like the main character in the movie. Really.
Yeah, if anything, I would say Star-Lord and Drax got the most character development.
Drax is just like, yeah, well, he killed my daughter and mother and wife, so yeah, that's why I want to kill him. That's my character thing. I'll see you guys later.
I don't know. I just felt like it was a combination of strong writing.
He's also just strong and stupid.
He's not stupid. He just doesn't know metaphors.
Because they go way over his head.
But nothing goes over his head. You would catch it.
Cat-like reflexes.
Cat-like reflexes. No, but anyway, I just thought the writing of this movie and just how it all meshed well together with the characters, I think it worked really well. I think it worked in its favor. Because there was some really good jokes in the movie. There was some really good one-liners.
So there are jokes in this movie that actually do work. Like the whole thing with like oh, that like 12% of a plan. You're like, how's that? That's not even a plan. It's more of like an idea. Like, hey, like why are you on my side? And then Groot's like, oh, I'm Groot. And he's like, yeah. He's like, what do you mean it's not as bad as 11%?
Yeah. No, yeah. There's a lot of the jokes in this movie hit, but it's just.
I think it's more of a comedy movie than it is an action, really.
I mean, you can make the argument that it's an action comedy.
There's more quality jokes than there are action scenes. I mean, like, you know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know. There isn't really that many action scenes throughout the movie.
It makes you laugh more than it does. Make you like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like. The only thing where I thought was like a remarkably good fight scene was when they're in like the ships and everything, like attacking Ronan's big ship, and like Nova Corps comes in and like makes like that big like shield and like holds them up in the sky.
It gave me like a super Star Wars vibe because you could tell there was a lot of different homages to like 70s movies in this like movie.
Well, considering that Star-Lord was like all he knows is like things from like 1980 whatever.
Yeah.
So up to that point, like Star Wars was a pretty prominent thing.
Yeah.
And it just came out, and the final, and like the episode 6 probably just, just came out on like DVD or like VCR, DVD. It's not even a thing. Yeah. On VCR, Laserdisc.
Laserdisc.
Yes.
Yeah, I just felt like that.
What's the other one? It's like a cassette, but it's not like cassette.
Cassette.
No, not like VCR, but like
VHS.
No, not VHS. Like something else. Like a bunch of other letters.
VHS, Laserdisc, DVD.
8-track? Is that a thing?
8-track is music.
No.
8-track is the cassette though.
Whatever.
Alright, anyway.
I thought it was something else.
Alright, it's fine. But I don't know. I do agree that it is more of a comedy than an action movie. But I feel like when the action scenes do happen, they're memorable.
The whole thing with like the jail fight scene was just like it wasn't like that cool. Like there was kicks, there were flips, there's like Rocket Raccoon and
I mean,
yelling right into the fucking camera.
Yeah, but like think about it though.
And then later on, like the robot head thing in space, which never even gets explained either. It's just there.
What? Nowhere?
Yeah, nowhere.
It doesn't really have to be explained. It's just there.
So, okay, we're not gonna have a planet. Let's make it just a giant fucking skull.
All right, in Star Wars, do they explain the origin of the Death Star?
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
It's good. I mean, that has more. I mean, the whole thing is like that's like what they have to take down. Like that is the whole thing. The whole thing with the Death Star is like, oh, that's the bad guy. We need to blow that shit up.
Yeah, it's the same with the Dark Aster.
We need Luke to go in there and pop like a torpedo in there.
And it's
like,
the same with the
Dark
Dark Aster.
The what?
The Dark Aster, Ronan's ship. It's the same thing.
But like it's like it's Ronan's ship. That's what it is.
Yeah, and that Darth Vader's moon. That's what it is.
And like the whole thing with the giant robot head is just like, oh, it's not a planet.
No, it's just supposed to be a place. It's the same as like a planet in Star Wars.
I feel
like it's just there. Like Yavin 5 was just there.
But my thing is, like if you're like watching a space movie, like everything is like a planet or everything. Everything that's like inhabiting that planet is like it's because it's a planet. This is being inhabited and it's not even a planet. So what the fuck happened there? Like how do people whatever?
No, like I see what you're saying. It's just
my point is I wanted to see more with that.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I would have liked to see the backstory behind it, but you just have to realize it's just a place.
Yeah. All I know is that Collector lives there, and this whole thing got blown up there too.
Yeah, and all his shit got salad got tossed and whatever.
Salad got tossed.
Salad got tossed. Tossed the salad.
Also, like the whole fight pod, like the rental pod thing. You know what I mean? Like the flight pods. Like, oh, they're indestructible, and like you just bash into each one of them. So it's pretty one-sided.
That's the point.
Even though they did say oh, it's indestructible, like Gamora still gets blown up.
Well, she went too far out into space. Remember?
And then got blown up.
She went too far out into space.
So it's in space anyway.
No, it wasn't. When they were fighting inside the head, it wasn't in space. They were inside the head.
Whatever. Just fucking you're gonna say it's indestructible, and you're gonna fucking blow it up later on. This doesn't make any sense to me. Seriously. This laptop's indestructible. Oh, it blew up. What happened there? Oh, I said it was indestructible, but it totally wasn't. You know what I mean? What am I saying?
I don't know. But anyway.
This is a total mess of an episode.
Yeah, pretty much, honestly, at this point. It's fine, though. We'll power through it.
Yeah.
But the other things I liked about the movie, again, can't go wrong with Marvel visual effects. They're fine.
Yeah.
There's no complaints there. Cinematography, actually pretty good in this movie. I really liked. It was a very colorful movie as opposed to
I will say that.
As opposed to any other Marvel movie. I felt like it was a very, very colorful movie, and I was really appreciative of that.
Some were gray, just gray. And
exactly. That's why when I first saw this movie in the beginning, I was like, oh boy, it's all gray, because remember he's on the planet and it's all gray and stuff like that, and he sticks out like a sore thumb and is red and stuff like that. But then when they went to Nova Corps and then to the head and everything,
blue and orange.
There was a lot of blues, oranges, purples, reds, greens, and I was like, okay, this is.
It's a very nice movie.
I dig it. Yeah,
it's very nice to look at.
Yeah, it's a very visually appealing movie, and I dig that. Because I think, in my personal opinion, I really do think visuals are as important as the story, because you can tell the story through visuals and stuff like that. But That's not the case with this movie.
Well, that's symbolism.
Yeah, but not even symbolism. It's just like you can tell the story through visuals. Like there's a classic thing with Alfred Hitchcock, right? It's probably like one of my favorite things ever.
Where he's in the movies. Alfred Hitchcock. He's in the movies. He's in his own movies.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like how you tell the story visually. So like there's this one thing where Alfred Hitchcock's talking, right? And he's like, this is how important editing and visual storytelling is. So he films himself smiling at something. You don't know what it is, but he's looking in a direction, and then he smiles. Mm-hmm. So then they intercut two images with that. So it's him smiling, then it's a woman playing with her child.
Okay.
Alright, so she's playing with the child, and then it cuts back to him smiling. Then the next one is he's smiling, and then it shows a woman like putting sunscreen on herself in like a very skimpy bathing suit. Okay. And then it cuts back to him smiling. So it's two different stories being told there. In one, he's just like a nice old guy, just like seeing this woman playing with a child, and it like makes him happy. Mm-hmm. And then in the other one, he's a dirty pervert. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like, visual storytelling is very important, but like that doesn't even matter with this movie because it doesn't matter anyway because this movie's.
You just said that to explain yourself.
Yeah, pretty much. But like. With this movie, it doesn't apply because like it's a Marvel movie. It's a turn off your brain, eat popcorn type movie. There's really no. I will say that
it's very good. It's just a good movie though. Just watch whenever you're like bored or something.
Yeah, it'll definitely give you a good time. Mm-hmm. You know, it will.
It's a fun movie, but like I think like the one maybe twice over is good enough.
Definitely. So other than that, I really don't have anything else to good to say about the movie.
Chemistry is good.
The chemistry, the chemistry between all the characters is great. I don't think anybody really gave a bad performance. In all honesty, like I'm trying to think. I mean, like some lines here and there.
I mean, really,
you can't like talk about Vin Diesel.
Yeah, he had his work cut out for this movie.
Yeah, exactly.
He said like 4 words.
Yeah, exactly.
I am Groot, and the one time he said "we."
Yeah, but sure there were some hammy lines like here and there, like most notably with Gamora and David and Drax, because they're playing aliens, and it's like. I do not understand you and stuff like that, where it like kind of like juxtaposes Chris Pratt's like just normal dialogue, I guess, just the way he's delivering his lines and stuff like that. It's kind of like a little weird, but other than that, I dug the writing, cinematography, visual effects, performances. I pretty much dug a lot of things about it, but that's not to say this movie has problems. So,
I just said the whole thing in the beginning why I have problems.
Yeah.
Granted, a lot of it doesn't make any sense, but to me it does. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's just some, like, there's, like, the whole collector scene is just, the collector's literally there. He's like Michael Caine in Interstellar. Yeah. He's just there to give exposition. And it's like, okay, I get it. This gem is, like, the most destructive thing ever. And then he opens the thing, and it shows all the flashbacks of the gem killing people and people burning alive. And he's just like, this is why you need to, I'm glad you brought it to me because I'm the one who's going to keep it safe. Here's what it does. And then it goes to this whole spiel about it. And I'm like, okay, you're literally expositioning the character. Like, and I get, like, you could have avoided that entire scene with just showing, like, just somebody using the gem. Like if Ronan got the gem earlier in the movie, and then they stole it from him, and he's trying to get it back.
And then they blew up a planet.
And he like blew up a planet, or even just touching the gem, or like having like one of his underlings touch the gem. You could have just saved some 20 minutes of the movie.
You could have used that 20 minutes for something else.
Yeah, you could have used that 20 minutes to like build on the characters again. You could have used it to like have another.
Explain the fucking skull in space.
Sure, explain the fucking skull in space. Like you could have. I'm just saying that like. With this 20 minutes that's dedicated to the collector explaining what this gem does, it could have been used to like do something else that would highly benefit the movie. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like if you just showed like a quick like 5-minute scene of just Ronan's like underlings like touching the gem, trying to test its power, if he's running tests on its power or something like that. It's like, okay, this thing means fucking business. So like.
Also, if you like watch some of the other Marvel movies and like Marvel, like general facts about Marvel characters and the comics and everything, you would know that the Infinity Stones are like a big deal.
Yeah.
Especially like with the fucking cube in Captain America.
Tesseract.
Tesseract. Thank you. There's that. There's Avengers 2 didn't come out, so you don't know anything about the one in Vision's forehead. That's
That's the Mind Stone.
Yeah, that's the yellow one.
Yeah.
And you see the fucking Infinity Gauntlet.
Well,
in
even
Thor.
with the Tesseract, you know how destructive it is. Like, it blows up a room in the beginning of the first Avengers.
True. It also shoots lasers.
And it also shoots lasers.
They use it to shoot lasers.
They use it to shoot lasers, exactly. So, like, even if you didn't know, like, you would just assume all of these gems are dangerous. And even if Vision shoots lasers out of his face.
Out of his face?
Face. I meant to say forehead and face, but it kind of just went into face.
Foreface?
Foreface, yeah. But, like, he shoots lasers out of his face. And it's like, alright, I get, like, these gems are destructive.
And you actually see the Infinity Gauntlet in Thor, which doesn't make any sense because, like, later on, Thanos just, like, has it anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, are there two now?
Yeah. But, like, the whole thing is just, like, and it's not just this movie, it's, like, almost every Marvel movie has that exposition character. Like, in the Thor movies, it was the Doctor. You know what I'm talking about? Stellan Skarsgård?
Oh, yeah.
I forgot his name. But he's the one that goes insane in Thor 2 and walks around in his underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah, him. He's the exposition character. What else? In Black Widow's the exposition character in the Avengers.
Kind of like, and Nick Fury.
So is Nick Fury, yeah. They're both the exposition characters. Although Black Widow's more involved in the movies, obviously, but Samuel L. Jackson is just literally there to like be like, yeah, I'm black and badass, and then I also tell the team what's gonna happen if they don't do this thing, and then this is gonna happen if that thing happens, and like, all right, I get it, like I get it, but like, there's so many more interesting ways you can convey a story rather than having people sit down around a table and the camera switch angles every 3 minutes, and then just explaining how everything's gonna go to shit in a couple hours.
Basically, yeah.
You know, so like. That's just one of my main flaws with this movie. Another really big thing that I'm a little iffy about was the ending of the movie, how they actually defeat Ronan.
That actually went pretty quickly.
They did go pretty quickly, and like, but my whole thing was that like, it was kind of stupid. Like he's about to like decimate the planet, and then all of a sudden Star-Lord just starts dancing, and it like distracts him and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and, like,
if you're distracted by like subpar dancing,
and like the whole thing is you could tell it was a joke.
Yeah.
You could tell it wasn't like, you could tell the writers were just like, hey, you know what would be funny? This would be funny. And like, it was okay. Like, it was
I mean, the whole part was like, it's pretty serious, like shit. Like, they just crashed the
and it was like
planet and probably killed like hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just like a total inconsistency that just like was extremely jarring. And I was like, oh, okay. He's dancing now. When like, literally, he just killed like millions of people on this planet, like crashing, kamikazing his soldiers into the city. But like, I don't know, it just kind of like, granted it was funny, it was a funny joke, I did laugh at it, but like, looking back on it, I'm just like, this is...
The whole thing was the whole thing where he just told all these people, like, just a kamikaze, like, they're already dead, like, their characters are like necro things or whatever. Yeah. So like, he's not really losing anything, he's just losing people, even though like they're already dead.
And I'm saying, like, I don't have a problem with that, I'm just saying I have a problem with, like...
why are they dead? How are they alive if they're dead?
Wait, it doesn't explain that. But like, I don't have a problem with them like kamikazing into the city. Like, whatever, that's fine. I just have a problem with like the tone shift. It goes from like serious, like people are dying, like we need to, like the Nova Corps is dying up in the sky, and then it's just like, oh, I'm dancing. I'm dancing now. I'm like, okay. Yeah.
Also,
okay.
Also, the power of friendship is enough to.
I was also just about to say that. Like, also, the power of friendship conquers all, and it's like, okay.
It's just as dumb as the thing from Interstellar, where it's like love. That's how we talk to people in the past. You have to do it through love.
Yeah, I was like,
granted, like I thought it was like okay, just because like it was like the metaphor that like Anne Hathaway was talking about in the movie, but like a lot of people just don't like it. Yeah. It's like the one flaw in the movie that everyone finds.
Points out, yeah. And like with this, it's like the power of friendship conquers all.
But like, no,
and
that's stupid.
Yeah, that's stupid. Like, I understand that if you really look deep into Marvel movies, like, because like a lot of young kids go to see them. So like ever since Disney started taking over, they were just like, hey, let's put in some like nice family-friendly messages. Like if you look, Iron Man doesn't have any nice family-friendly messages. The first Avengers doesn't have any family-friendly messages. Mm-hmm. Like, then when you see, when did Disney buy Star Wars and Marvel? Like 2013, 2014,
maybe
around there.
Yeah.
When you see Marvel movies from that era on, you start to see like, okay, there's like some messages in here that are like,
kids start getting more involved in the movies as well.
Yeah, definitely, and like they have like kid shows and stuff like that. And I don't have a problem with it. I'm just saying, I don't have a problem with it.
Like you see it too, like with like you said with the Iron Man movies. Like you get the first two and like, oh, granted they're pretty good movies, maybe not as much as Marvel Iron Man 2, but like. Then you get the third one, and like, oh, there's a whole kid with like a whole subplot with that thing, and then like, what else? It's like another movie. And Ant-Man has a whole like family thing in that too, because he's a divorced dad.
Yeah.
Who's like in jail. And he's like,
it's just like messages. It's just like, yeah, you know, your dad, your parents will always love you.
You might be a shitty person, but at least you're a good character.
Yeah. But and like I don't have a problem with it, but when it interferes with the story at hand, then I have a problem with it. Because like when you think about it, like in Ant-Man, it was just kind of like he's just proven himself to be a good dad. Like it didn't really interfere with the story all that much. It didn't like drag. It didn't like make the story drag or anything. But like with this, it's just like they literally beat Ronin by the power of friendship. Mm-hmm. And like that's kind of that interferes with the story in a massive way. Because just in the fucking collector scene, they were just like, yeah, and then they had monks try to contain the power, and then it literally shows what they did at the end of the movie. At the end of the movie, Star-Lord and all the characters hold hands and contain the power of the gem. And in the beginning of the fucking movie, when they have the collector scene, it shows 4 monks standing together, holding hands, and they all get eviscerated.
It wasn't even like 4.
It was like maybe like 7.
Yeah, about 7 or 8.
And that's even worse! Even more people died trying to contain the gem.
I will say this, like, Chris Pratt, like, that Star-Lord, like, the whole Star-Lord thing was like, oh, he's like half human, half, like, some ancient race of aliens that, like, are, like, so much more powerful or anything. And, like, Kurt Russell's gonna be, like, the dad who's, like, also that alien.
I guess.
And then, Gamora's, like, built to be, like, one of the most highly trained killers, like, in probably the whole galaxy or something like that.
Yeah, but when you establish in the movie that the gem literally kills everything.
And Drax literally doesn't get a scratch on him throughout the entire movie, even though he is fighting Ronan at one point by himself.
Yeah, but you have to realize this gem.
And then you get a fucking raccoon.
So what? The fucking raccoon.
So the raccoon shot.
If anything, the raccoon should have been freaking spit roasted on the freaking fire.
But like, yeah, I mean, like.
I'm just saying, like, when you establish in the movie that your gem is the most destructive thing in the entire universe, and then a literal human and like 3 other people touch it, less people than they established in the movie that died beforehand.
A human, 2 aliens, and a fucking raccoon.
I'm just saying, it like completely just it doesn't make sense.
It's like an alien cyborg thing, really.
Yeah, kinda, but like, I don't know, it just doesn't, it doesn't make sense. Like, it completely destroys the movie's own logic.
Point is, this movie's not that great. It's a good movie, but like, it's not anything to write home about. I feel like when this movie came out, everyone was just like high off their horse about it.
And that's with really everything, honestly. That's like hype and stuff like that. Because I just started reading posts on Reddit, like, now that Star Wars has been out for like 7 months, like, how do you guys feel about it? And like, everybody's all like, yeah, it's a good movie. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still love it. But like, after...
It's an okay movie, but like, it's just a fucking remake of 4.
I watched it, I've seen it maybe 7 times now. Since I saw it in theaters, I've seen it maybe 7 times now. And I do agree with some of the criticisms that a lot of people are putting on it. I still think it's I don't remember what I gave it. I think I gave it like a 9 out of 10. I still firmly believe that it's a 9 out of 10. And that's my opinion.
It's like the middle of all the Star Wars movies, honestly.
What do you mean?
Like, if you take all 7 Star Wars movies, Star Wars Episode 7 is between the original 3 and the prequel 3. It's put right between them. It goes, for me, it goes 5, 4, 6. No, it goes 6, 4, 5, then 7, then 3, 2, 1. You know, even though I've never seen 3, 2, or 1.
Yeah, for me, it's 5, 4, 7, 6, 3, 1, 2. I hated Attack of the Clones. I hated it more than Phantom Menace.
How about that animated Star Wars movie?
That doesn't count. We don't talk about that one.
But they had like a whole TV show, and now it's like...
Yeah, and the TV show was marginally better than the actual movie.
But they have Star Wars Rebels now, which basically the same
Star Wars
thing.
Rebels is actually good. I actually really dig that show. But like, I dug the Star Wars Clone Wars, so it doesn't really matter. And a lot of people love Rebels too. So.
And then also like Star Wars Christmas special.
What?
There's Christmas specials.
No, there isn't.
Yes, there is one.
No, there isn't.
What are you talking about?
No, there isn't.
There's so many videos about people watching that.
No, there
Did
isn't.
you not see the JonTron thing?
Yeah, no, there's no.
With Aaron was in it.
I don't know what you're talking about. There is no Star Wars.
I'll have to show you that.
There is no Christmas special, Anthony.
Dude, like,
Anthony, there is no Christmas special.
Point is,
no, the Christmas special is the worst piece of shit I've ever seen in my entire life. But like, whatever.
I think we're done with this episode.
Honestly, yeah. I think we should wrap it up right
Point
about
is,
here. Kind of tangent.
The point is, this movie, like I said,
good, but nothing to write home about.
Good. That's
yeah, good. Nothing to write home about.
Just good.
Just good. Yeah. Now that I'm off my hype train.
Yeah.
Just good.
Just good.
So yeah, if anything, I would.
I'm looking forward to for the volume 2.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm definitely gonna go see.
I just hope it's better. I just hope it's better than the first one.
If
If it's the same thing, then I'm like, oh.
Well, this one is kind of like an origin story, so I don't think it's gonna be an origin story, you know. But like,
Kurt Russell's supposed to be in it.
I know, I love Kurt Russell so much.
Sylvester
No
Stallone.
shit, really?
He's like rumored, but like they're not doing anything. Like they haven't said anything with his character. So like, people are like, oh, it's probably gonna be like some big guy.
Yeah, they said Al Pacino wants to be in the Marvel universe. Give that dude a role. How cool would Al Pacino be? I don't know, but how cool would Al Pacino be in a Marvel movie? I dig it. And also, we got a lot of Marvel shows coming up.
Point is, fuck you, DC. Your shit.
I actually want to do an episode on the whole Marvel DC thing.
Oh, why DC is shit?
No, not on why DC is shit. On comparing, on like talking about how studio involvement with movies can sometimes be a very, very terrible thing. And also, because like I've made a point before that we've only had 2 movies in the DC universe, and they've both been directed by Zack Snyder.
And they're both shit.
And they're both not that great. But I loved Man of Steel, but I hated Batman v Superman, as you all know. We both hated that movie. And actually, I did see the extended cut of it, and I will say it's a marginally better movie, but it's still pretty meh. No, it's not even bad. It's just meh. It's like a straight like 5.5 out of 10. Even the extended cut, it fixes a lot of the problems that the original cut had.
Point is, like, the damage is already done. Like, that movie's pretty much shit.
That movie's a steaming pile of. That movie's a steaming dumpster fire. But like, it's the extended cut, and that's really with every Zack Snyder movie, honestly. Because Watchmen, the original cut, while decent, the director's cut is director's cut is one of the best movies I've ever seen in my entire life. The Watchmen director's cut that Zack Snyder made, one of the best movies I've ever seen in my entire life. But, and that's really with a lot of Zack Snyder movies, because Zack Snyder just likes to fucking make his movies like 8 million years long, and he just doesn't know how to pace. That's Zack Snyder's main problem. He just doesn't know how to pace his movies.
Well, this is another episode.
Yeah, this is another episode for a different time. But what I'm saying, pretty much what I want this episode to be about is that we had only one director in DC, but then when we introduce all these other directors and the movies still fucking suck, there's obviously a problem. So I want to do an episode comparing Marvel and DC with their merits and their faults.
I'm down for that.
I'm down for it too. So we got a lot of potential episodes coming up in the future. That's really all I want to say this episode. So let's rate.
This movie, I give it 6.5 Infinity Stones out of 10.
I would pilot 7 Indestructible, not making sense freighters out of fuck this. I'm so bad at this.
I would steal like 6.5 orbs from some planet and no one ever explained. They never explained that shit too.
What?
The fucking planet that he goes in the first thing in the movie.
What, how he got there?
No, not how he got there. Like there's a whole civilization there. We're just not going to talk about that. He had like the whole gun thing. Was like, oh, it's showing where the whole civilization is, you know?
No, that was. I think that was just there for like kind of like detail. But like, dude, they literally do the same thing in Star Wars. They literally do the same thing in Star Wars.
And that's why some Star Wars movies aren't that great.
You did not just say that. You did not just fucking say that.
Star Wars is like an okay series.
Oh, I'm gonna end this episode right now, baby.
See you later.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching. You're all great. Love you.